Update: am I the asshole for not letting my child speak her native language at home? Previous post here. So I posted about 2 weeks ago looking for your judgment. It took a while, but I agree with it. Some develops have happened since then, so I thought I would update. 1. I admitted to my wife I was being an asshole and was ready to learn Welsh. I've been using Duolingo and sitting down with my daughter and wife while we do my daughter's homework. My wife still laughs whenever I say Lanelli, but here we are. 2. I showed my wife the "Am I the asshole" post. She said I was a complete dipshit, but she cried and admitted she has been excluding me on purpose in the hopes that I would learn Welsh if she did it enough. I explained how it made me more resentful and I had almost left her because of it. We're going to go to couples therapy. 3. She told me that I need to tell Yanks who pretended they could say Lanfair PG to Kachau Bant and Cow Di Ceg. They were some of the first words I learned in Welsh, so they can be yours too. 4. I sent my dad a message telling him to ask my mother if she can start pronouncing Megan the way my wife wants it. Megan likes it the Welsh way too, and vomited when I asked her if she liked the way Nana said it. My mother hasn't said anything, but my wife and I taught Megan to tell her, Nana, I like my name said like this, when my mum says it wrong. We'll have to see where this goes, since my mum has said in the past that she won't pronounce it like a sheep shugging pleb. I will be putting my foot down if she starts. 5. There was someone who pretended to be my wife on another post. I reported it and it got taken down. I did not make my wife sleep on the couch that night lol. Just some sad person creating made-up drama. 6. My daughter and I managed to get a 5-star island on Animal Crossing. Not relevant, but we managed it this week. Have a nice day and cheers for your help. Edit. For everyone who keeps asking about pronouncing Megan in a Southern Welsh dialect, this guy explains the difference. If you want to hear how it's said, then I suggest the first lesson in Duolingo. I remember this post. Good for you for starting to learn Welsh. It's a fascinating language and I hope you enjoy learning it. Can anyone tell me how Megan is pronounced in Welsh? Is it that much different than the English or American way of pronouncing it? I'm glad with this update, and you should put your foot down with your mom, as what she says is really, really rude. This is such a wholesome resolution. I really appreciated the edits on your last post. It's really nice to see thoughtful self-reflection like that. I didn't see your original post at the time, but God, you were so English in it, in a bad way, sorry. I'm Irish and we spent centuries trying to get England out of our country and to stop interfering with our language. We've never quite recovered, and Welsh is far healthier than Irish is now. It's heartbreaking. You've seen the light, but don't be that English stereotype who tries to wipe out other cultures. Good on you for starting to learn Welsh. I love seeing updates like this. Congrats on being an amazing dad. And well done for the 5-star island. Wait, number 5 was fake. I saw that post too. I'm glad you've had a productive resolution to your op. She cried and admitted she has been excluding me on purpose in the hopes that I would learn Welsh if she did it enough. That's a pretty shitty thing to do. I read the original post, and was wondering why the wife would speak so much Welsh in front of you. No wonder you came across as resentful in your first post. I don't blame you for being frustrated. I mentioned this as your initial post. Taking away a language is the first step in killing a culture. Sounds like your mother hasn't accepted that the sun does indeed set on the British Empire these days. Glad to see you've taken positive steps, but keep a close eye and ear on mum. I'm glad you talked about it and your family is moving forward in a positive direction. Keep an eye on your mum and monitor her interactions with your daughter. It sounds like she is not happy about having Welsh family members and she might slip some insults in their conversation in the future. My daughter keeps cutting down all my damn peach trees and leaving wood and shit all over our island. I fear we will always be just a 3-star village. First of all, that's a lovely resolution, but I want to put it out there that your wife's approach described in 2 is horrifying, and it's no wonder you were having such a hard time. Good luck in couples therapy. Not gonna point out the huge ass red flag in which wife still calls husband a dipshit but admits to intentionally sabotaging him to manipulate him to learn a language that she wants. Thinking face. I am just shocked you were stupid enough to think that her learning one language would inhibit her from learning another. Thanks for the update. It's honestly one of the best parts of this sub. My daughter and I managed to get a 5-star island on Animal Crossing. Not relevant, but we managed it this week. Haha, love this edition. Good for you. Next up, a deep dive into post-colonial literature and theory. Given your mother's comments, it's no surprise where you got your superior English colonial mentality. It is, however, surprising that there are still people who think like your mother in 2020. I learned Polish and French as a kid, and also learned English, Spanish and Korean, and it was easy as hell because I already learned the first two languages at home. Your brain doesn't have limited storage. You can learn Welsh and still get to learn many other things without difficulty. It's even the other side around. You might pick up patterns in the language that you will find in unexpected places. Might be difficult, but I wish you all the best. Obviously, someone willing to admit they're wrong and to apologize is doing better than most adults. It takes an amazing amount of maturity, and if even half of all people could do it, the world would be a much, much better place. We should pay special attention to what the wife said, though. She admitted to manipulating him through neglect. Even though it didn't last long, and he didn't even realize it was happening, that's emotional abuse that was never brought up in the original post. It's a good lesson for all of us to take everything posted on here with a grain of salt, and think it through a bit. OMG, as a Yank living in England, you sound like the most stereotypical Englishman when it comes to anyone outside of England. Good on you for opening your mind up and learning the language of your daughter and wife. Meh. I think it was more of an everyone sucks here situation. You for being so blind about the Welsh culture. You even were being super dismissive of it with your, "but we're all British," comments. That would be like me being from the state of Oregon and dismissing someone from the state of Georgia because, "we're all American." Your wife was and still seems to be sneakily pushing her Welsh agenda. When a child is brought into a family, one parent doesn't necessarily get more say than the other in how to raise the child. Of course, except in the case where one parent basically says, "Do whatever you want, I don't want to do anything." And even then I'd get it legally drawn up so that it doesn't come back and bite me later. Try pronouncing Lanfair Pwllg Wingith Gogarishwarndrab Wll Lanti Siliogo. As a Welsh person, I'm happy with the outcome. Your mother, however, is a reason why we don't like English people. I'm glad you're listening to your wife and daughter. If you're having a convo with two other people and you speak in a language one of them can't understand when you could easily not do that, you're rude AF. Your daughter can learn Welsh while also speaking English when you are here. It's not hard. Thank you so much for this update. You're a stellar human for being willing to admit you were wrong. Your mom's comment is super gross. But it's also hilarious, like, she's every American stereotype of British people. Which I guess we get from watching Monty Python's Upper-Class Twit of the Year sketch and the like. Anyway, good luck with that. You should tell your mum that using the term sheep shagger against a Welsh person is a crime. It has been ruled as racially aggravating and as disorderly conduct. Is there a good example of Welsh Megan somewhere? This is such a great update, especially number 6 XD. Though number 2 disturbs me a little bit. I'm glad you guys are getting some therapy. Wait, your mom said what now about the Welsh? Does she realize her granddaughter is part Welsh? Does she say things like this in front of your daughter? Like what the fuck? Unsolicited asshole judgment on your mom. Tell her to stop that shit lol. Regarding mixing two languages during a conversation, it's called code switching and it's a natural thing that happens when two or more speakers are bilingual or greater in the same languages. Source: was certified teacher of English as a second language. Am I the only one that thinks his wife is at least a little bit of an asshole for purposely making him feel left out? I agree that op is an aw, and perhaps deserves it if that was the only way to help get him to cool down on the whole only English thing. But I still can't help but feel that is still an asshole thing to do. This is so wholesome. Here is a quote I once heard: "If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart." Proud of you, man. I'm glad to read this. Can't lie, I thought you were a raging asshole in your first post. Nice to see you've came to a nice resolution. As for your mother, please be very careful with her. Having Welsh family made it easy for assholes to call me a sheep share, and it hurts. As a fellow Welshie, this post has warmed my heart and I'm glad you saw sense. Maybe you should have your daughter refer to her nan as 9, I'm sure she would love that. Learning Welsh is not an easy feat, so kudos to you for trying. The first phrase I learned was pen padine thanks to my dad. Isn't Megan in Welsh just Megan? Like it's not even that difficult. You mum is a major racist asshole. Good for you. But ooh, make sure your daughter doesn't forget English with all this Welsh you guys are speaking. I've added faux vomit to my lexicon. Congrats on the 5-star island. Oh, and the Welsh stuff too. Diolch for the update, and from one Welsh learner to another. Dwyn go beithio y by ddwch chian y how disgu simrag. I have to ask, what exactly is the Welsh pronunciation of Megan? I tried to find it, but all I could find was the one single pronunciation that I am used to. Oof, just read the post, and as a Welsh guy it really pissed me off. Glad you were able to admit you're at fault. Wow. Today I learned that my grandma Megan's unusual pronunciation of her name, Mijun, was connected to her Welsh heritage. If my grandpa could learn to say his wife's name, Op's family can say their grandchild's. Thanks for the update, Op. You've got this. Long y far chiado. I hope you enjoy your forays into the Welsh language. Most beautiful language in the world. IMHO. Winking face. You are a very good example to all of us. You were wrong and you accepted that judgment and are working to better yourself. Not a lot of people can do that, and I think it is the most badass thing ever. Respect. I'm glad you found common ground and managed to talk before you drive each other further away. Good luck and have fun. Learning a new language is always cool. Also, congratulations on your 5-star island, kinda jealous. As a Welsh person I'm glad you guys sorted things. Welsh is such a cool language. Absolutely love Wales and its language. It's my second home as a Dutch girl and I'm so glad my boyfriend loves the country as well. My name is Welsh and I use Welsh names etc. in my Dungeons & Dragons campaigns to fuck with my players. My daughter and I managed to get a 5-star island on Animal Crossing. Not relevant, but we managed it this week. Have a nice day and cheers for your help. This is the only thing I care about. You get 5-star island. Wow, I can't believe that other post was a fake. What a lot of effort they went to.